everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Jones #1 Colors, and I thought today that we would work on a journal that I want to keep for coloring for 2026. At first I thought, I'm going to use the smaller journal, and then I thought, no, I want to use a thicker one because I want it to last longer. But the more I thought of it, I went through, and at first I was like doing full pages, and I'm like, oh, I'm just wasting pages. So then I put different ideas like on the same page. But there's a few of the pages or a few of the sections that is for like my book collection. That's going to be for years, right? I'm going to keep adding to them. And then the rest will be for that specific year. So that's where I'm going to start. Like the third page is where I'm going to start 2026. So I might do like a title page for 2026 and then start with the 40 books. I want to focus on untouched books in 2026 and write them down, their year in review, the 26 spreads I want to do in 2026. And then all the pages I colored in 2026. But before, so I put the numbers there. I want this to be 2, 3, 4, and then this is 6. So something else is 5. This is how I want the year in review to look. Okay, so 5 is the materials used. Oh, because when I do all the pages colored in 2026, I want to put the book, the name, when I started, when I finished, and materials used. But of course, I'm not going to have a lot of room. So I want to do sort of an index before that's going to represent, the acronyms that I use for that, or the letters that I use for that. And I want to also put the goals for 2026. I might put this number 1. I just thought of that after. So I might do all about coloring, then the coloring book collection, then put 2026, and then put my goals. I'm going to put that here. Because I'm going to refer to this. Do goals first before this page, the untouched books. So, it looks really messy there, but at least it gave me an idea what I want to do. I want to show you some of the materials that I'm thinking of using. And then I'm going to just record and do a voiceover because I figured this is going to take a long time. Oh, and by the way, I decided to go with a smaller book because really it's only my book collection. I'm going to leave like 10 pages or something to make sure I have enough room. And then after that, it should only be like maybe 20 pages a year. So I still can get like probably 5 or 6 years in there. And I think is enough. And this would have gotten too thick, I think, because I am going to put like stickers and that kind of stuff in there. So I have these 2 letter stickers. I have the Amy Tangerine, and I like this one better, but I brought this one down in case I have just like a small word. And then I brought a few stamp sets. I may or may not use it. I'll probably use the letter stamp set more than those, but I might stamp the heart, maybe a few of those leaves. So I have this stepping stone. I have this one here, wild heart, lots of heart, and locking hearts. And I just love this like heartbeat and the word love. So maybe I'll use that. And then for stamping ink, what I brought down was my archival ink. And I have the black ink around here somewhere because I had brought it just that down, and then I decided to bring everything. So it's got to be here somewhere. I just put it aside. I'll find it and put it back in here. But I have these colors, so I think that's enough. It's like 24 colors. I have these stickers by 49 and Market. Now these here, I cannot remember. I even looked online to try to find. I bought a few from them. You have to cut them out and then stick them on with some double-sided tape. So I have double-sided tape. I have a few of those like stickers. It's like on plastic. It's like PET tape. And I have this version, and I have this version here, which is like a pinkish. I have some stamping blocks. I have these alphabets in case I want to use those. So there's that. And then I have a ruler, a pencil, a pen, another stamping block. And I think that is everything that I plan on using in here. I don't want to make it overcomplicated. I want to make it kind of looks like that, with all the stuff I have out. But I think, I just want to make each page simple and just a pretty place where I can keep my stats, but I don't want to take weeks. Oh, I just found, as I was looking for the ink. I'm like, I know I put it somewhere safe. There we go. We'll put it in there so it's nice and safe. Just somewhere that it can be pretty and I can just keep my stats all in one place. And I find that when I keep track like that, I tend to do much better on my goals because I see progress. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to put you now on fast forward and I'll be doing a voiceover. So here we go. So first of all, I want to say I am so happy I think it took 4 hours to get this done, or maybe even a little more. And I could have probably finished the 2 spreads that I'm working on right now. I'm working on Magical Jungle, which I have about 2 hours left, and I'm working on Manaresa Dirge Africa, the treehouse one, and I probably have like an hour and a half of that one. And I probably could have finished those 2 colorings in the time that it took me to do this. But oh my goodness, I feel so motivated now. And I have all the pages done. I still need to put in like my book collection. I have to write them all out. Well, I have like 90 some books, right? So that's going to take me a while to do, but I feel so good. So I opened it up and I thought, okay, well, I want to have a title page, something that will last for more than 2026. So I'm going to call it All About Coloring. I have these stickers here. Well, they're not stickers. It's a roll of PET tape, and you have to add tape to it. And for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the company. And so I ordered a few of those. Tip number 1, when you're working to try to do titles, get wax paper, and your stickers stick on it temporarily, and then you can mess with, the placement and everything. And then when you're ready, you'll see, like, I'll put my finger on the page where I want the letter to start, and then I can just go ahead and stick them instead of sticking and moving and moving and moving, and all of a sudden the stickers aren't really sticking anymore. So if you put them on wax paper, you can figure out the placement and just go with it. The only thing with this PET tape, and I know now they make some that they're pre-cut, so it's like a sticker that comes off. I wish these were like that. It probably would have saved me, not a word of lie, between all the pages, probably half an hour, 45 minutes, because I do end up cutting a lot of them. And another thing that I like to do is not put the full, I'm going to call them sticker just for the ease of it, but not put the full sticker or die cut directly in the middle of the page. Make it so that it's offset so that it looks like it's coming off the page. And that really helps balance everything. And that is definitely like a scrapbooking, trick. And like I've mentioned before, I have been scrapbooking since I was pregnant with my 3rd child. And this year he's going to be 26 in 2026. And so I've been scrapbooking for a long time because I started while I was pregnant. So I've been scrapbooking for like 27 years. And I still love the craft a lot. And I love that it has to do with pictures and, just documenting our life's history, But during the tough year that we had, scrapbooking just didn't do it for me because I was focusing on the pictures and it was just making me cry even more. So that's when, I knew about coloring, right? We've been coloring since we were little tiny bitty bops, right? And in 2020, I start buying things to color. Actually, my Prismacolors, I bought them in 2015. So I've had some of the supplies for a long time. I probably bought maybe 10 or 15 coloring books in 2020. I colored a little bit, but I didn't discover the community of coloring on YouTube like I did in 2025. In 2025, I thought I need something. I couldn't diamond paint. I couldn't, and it seemed like anything that I did before, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't read. I still can't read. I can read. I can read words. I just can't. I don't know. I'm reading and it's not processing. My head is still wheeling, and I just need time. I think I need time to heal. And so I'm just going to talk about this a little bit, the journal, and then I'll come back to the story. But I did grab quite a few stamp set, and I'll have to say the reason I have a piece of scrap next to me is that those are alcohol inks. So if you stamp directly on, like if you ink it up and you put it directly on the paper, it will go through it and you'll see it on the other side. Plus, I want to make it so that that's where I write my book collection. So I want to be able to write over these leaves or whatever I'm stamping because I want it to be decorative. I want it to be cute, but I don't want to be, I don't want it to be plain. I want it to be cute, but I don't want it to have so much stuff that I won't be able to do more than 1 year. Now, I have to say, I've pretty much done the pages that I want to. Of course, when we get to it, but I do a to be colored pages, and I'm going to do January, like 3 months per page. And I did the first 3 months. I still need to do the other 9 months, but I'll just do those later. I'm good for the first 3 months. So maybe, at the end of March, I'll do April, May, and June, and then I'll take a break because it's really not my favorite thing to take those little stamp sets and stamp the words. I was gonna, because I have tons of tiny letter stickers. I know I showed you the ones that I brought there for the title page, but I have tinier stickers than that. But for some reason, I really wanted to use my archival ink, and I wanted to use the little stamp sets that I have. Now, the stamp set that I have, it's called, I got it on Amazon. It just says alphabet and number symbols. There's 70 pieces, and the size is 9 by 12 by 40 millimeters. They're not very big, which actually works out really well because I can make longer titles. Now, this is where the first title page is the title page for the entire journal. This title page is for 2026. And then when 2027 comes around, I'll just need to, flip to that page and then do one for 2027. And I was going to use my other journal that had 320 pages in it because I'm like, I'll be good for like 10 years. But I think it was going to get too thick. Even though I didn't put a lot of stuff, I find that it's still, kind of bulging a little bit. So I imagine once I get a few years in there, it's going to get pretty thick because I did put washi tape on almost every page. And even though I love this washi tape. I got it on Amazon. One of them is 1/4 of an inch and the other one is 1/8 of an inch. And the package that I bought had like 60, a quarter or an eighth of an inch. And it was like, I don't know, maybe $20. And I have enough washi tape to do this journaling thing for the next few years. I've got plenty. And the same with those PET tapes. I got to figure out, I got to ask my friend. I know she'll remember. Laura, if you're listening to this, who's this company? I know you know who it is. I've Googled it, tried to remember who it was. I used to get emails from them all the time for sales, and I haven't in the longest time. So hopefully they're still around. And they have like regular stickers and on a roll like this, and that they're already pre-cut. I love those. I need to get more of those and less of you need to cut them out. Though to be honest, it wasn't that much work, right? It just takes a few minutes. And the scissors that I'm using, they are Fiskars scissors. I got them on Amazon, and they don't have holes to put your finger and your thumb. So if you have any kind of hand issue, I broke my hand um, or my wrist in 2020, and don't have the full range of motion in my wrist. But when I broke my wrist, I never stopped scrapbooking. I was doing virtual crops. I did a 12-hour virtual crop within a week of breaking my wrist. And so I never stopped scrapbooking. So I got those scissors down. I have to say, they're a little awkward when you first start cutting with them because they're different, right? Like you don't put your finger and your thumb through the holes, you hold it in your hand. But once you get the hang of them, they work so well. So after the 2026 title page, I decided that I was going to do my goals page, and I used those stickers again. They're Amy Tangerine. And again, a lot of these products, I had them in my scrap room upstairs because I do scrapbooking. And that's what I love about the coloring, thing is that a lot of the stuff that I had for scrapbooking, I can use for coloring. And all of the stuff that I have for coloring, I can use for scrapbooking. So today I made a page with Neo Color 2s. I used the um, cards from Sarah Renee Clark. I chose one that I liked the background, like the photo, and I made my own background using Neo Color 2s. The Prismacolors, I can use them on pages, the Inktense, the ChromaFlows, like whatever I have for coloring, I can move it over and use it for for scrapbooking and vice versa. I even saw people put washi tape in their coloring book, and I must have, I don't know, maybe 200 rolls of washi tape, like if not more, because just the 1/8 one, I have 60 of them, just that. So I probably have 400 or 500 rolls of washi tape, and I need to be using it. But I find the tape that I use for scrapbooking is a lot of it is the 1/2 inch. And I find for a small journal like this, I like to use either the 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch at best. And the stickers that I'm using from 49 Market, those are all stickers that I use in scrapbooking. Same as the PET tape. I use that in scrapbooking. So I kind of rated my scrap room when I knew I wanted to do this journal, and I was like, okay, what can I, bring from my room and use in this journal. Now, what happened there was, I'm some glad I noticed the 40 untouched books. I didn't notice, but my phone stopped recording. My phone was full. There was no more room. And I just happened to look up and it wasn't on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I miss? And I had just stamped the number 4, and then it was full. So all I did there was the 40 untouched books. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a grid where I'm going to write I did more than 40. I'm going to do 1 to 60 because I'm hoping to get more than 40 untouched books. My goal is 40, but if I do more than 40, all the better. So I'm just counting here. So I want to do 6 squares over and 7 down. And I got to start 2 squares from the side and 3 from the top in order for it to fit. Oh no, that's not the one. Sorry. This is the next one. What I wanted to do was I want to make this one here is I want to make 60, and per number I want 4 little squares because I figured one little grid square is not going to be enough. So what I end up doing is I go 20 across and then 10 down, and then I go over every 4 and make another, square, and then I'm going to end up with 60 little squares. And I don't know if you noticed there, but I went over with my pen. So all I used was my Arteza white pen and just colored over top, and it just kind of, I mean, in person you can see it, but at least it's not a black mark. It's kind of covered. So I'm going to do 60, like I said, 10 across, 6 down. And that way, it's always good to have a goal, but if you can stretch that goal, it's even better. So I'm going to take those little stamps and I'm going to stamp with my archival ink in black. And when I pick up a number, so when I pick up number 1, I did number 1 and the one for 10, and then I did the ones for all the teens, and then I did all the ones for like 21, 31, 41, 51. And then when I pick up the 2, I do the same thing. I do number 2. I forgot to do the 2 for 20, but I come back later and do it. And I kind of did that for all numbers. Actually, I forgot to do the 30 and the 40, so I have to come back after a while and do those, but it's okay. Now, further in, I end up doing another grid like this. I just find it so motivating. Like as soon as I color in an untouched book, not only, I'm going to write the book down, I'm going to have a little square at the bottom too that I'm going to color in, but I also get to color in one of those squares. And I think I'm going to do the squares all different colors. I'm not sure. Maybe what I should have done, it might not be too late. I was just thinking about that right now. Maybe if I color it in January, it's a certain color. If I color it in February, it's a certain color. If I color it in March, it's a certain color. So then when just by looking at it, I can right off the bat tell you whether I colored it in January, February, or March. And I think that'll be also kind of appealing. So this is what I thought I was doing a while ago. So I'm going to do a year in review. And so I'm doing a box for January through December. And the boxes are 6 square across, 7 down. I start 2 from the side, 3 from the top. And then in between each of the rectangles, I do have 2 grid square in between, and 2 between the top and like the bottom, the second row. And it just fits perfect that way. And what I did was I did it on a piece of scrap grid paper first to see, how big I could make them. And what I'm going to keep in there in those little square, I'm going to put January to December in all of them. But then I'm going to, at the end of the month, I'm going to put that I colored. The first number is going to be the number of colored pages, and the number underneath is going to be the number of wicks. So maybe I'll put like 8 COL for 8 colored, and then whatever number of whips. So then I'll know, okay, I colored 8 and I have 2 whips on the go. And my goal, I don't know about you, but I can't have a whole bunch of whips. I'm not there yet. I am so not there. I get focused on a page and I just want to get it done. I just think of Erica from Elm Colors, and I asked her once, "Can you tell me, can you make a video about how many whips you have? I really want to know." She is the queen of whips. I wish I could do that. I just can't right now. I start coloring a page and I'm like, I got to get it done. I got to get it done, you know? And I don't have a bunch of time too. So, I feel like if I have a page started, I need to get it done because if I'm going to get any amount of pages colored in the month, I need to make sure that I put the time in the pages. But I could see, if one day I feel like doing backgrounds and I could just do backgrounds on a few pages, that would be fun. Maybe I can make that one of my maybe I could make that one of my goals. I was like, I don't know what to write as my goals, but maybe I can do that as one of my goals. That would be a good goal, to try to have more than 2 whips. Or maybe take a day and say, I'm going to make backgrounds with soft pastels today and take out a bunch of books and do backgrounds with soft pastels. And another day, do backgrounds for Neocolor 2s or Inktense. And just, even if I just do 3, for me, that would be a lot because, like I said, once I get started on a page, I need to get it done. It's like when I started this journal thing, there's no way I was going to take a week to get this done. I got it done in, a couple sessions. I was just like, I'm starting this and I need to get it done. We're already like the 21st of January and I don't want to get this done in March. So I need to get it done and then I'll be organized and I'll have a place to write down everything. And I'm the sort of person that gets motivated with that kind of stuff. I don't get overwhelmed. I get motivated. It's like, okay, you know, like, oh, these are the pages I wanted to color for January. Look at that. I got 3 of them done already. So if I just push, I can get those 2 other ones done, and maybe I can get another page done after that before the end of the month. Because let's be real, like right now, it's January 23rd. So we're getting mighty close to the end of the month, and I want to try and get as much done as possible. Oh, and one thing too is when I was working on my book collection and I only stamped a few pages with those leaves, but I ended up skipping ahead. I made enough room for like 300 coloring books. My goodness, I hope I don't get to there, but I have the room for it. And I didn't want to spend time stamping all of those right then and there. I just wanted to get to the next layout, right? And just get it done. But I do go back and I add, the stamps of the leaves in purple and blue. And at the end, at the very end, the very last page, which is my to be colored, I'm going to keep track of what I want to color every month. And then I'll be able to see, what my hope was and how close I stay to the pages I choose. So, do I stay with the plan or do I go off plan more than I stay with the plan? I think I still am going to make a plan. But I just want to see, like up to now, like I said, I have 3 of them done and I'm working on 2 more. And I had 8 in the plans. So I don't think I'll have time to do these other 3, although some of them are really, really, I think, going to be easy to do. That's the other thing too, is I want to try and do the harder not harder, but more involved pages at the very beginning of the month and get them done. And then keep sort of like the ones with the alcohol markers, and you just have to do a little bit of pencil work over top, or like the matchstick mouse winter, the one with the deer that I said that I wanted to do for January. I think I can probably do that one in one sitting. So I think I can do that one. The Minor Resa Dirge Africa, the sign. I think I can probably do that one in a couple of days. So you never know. And the other one is the snake, which is also, I think, going to be a real quick one when you compare it to the Magical Jungle, the 2-page spread with the leaves and the leaves and the leaves and the leaves and the flowers and the this and the that. And there's just so much stuff going on. Or the unicorn, which I know, silly naive little me, like, I don't think it's going to be that much work, because it's like all like forest and water and then a little bit of, flowers and then the unicorns. And oh my goodness, like it took me 10 days of working on it every day to get it done. Okay, this is about 24 hours later. It was almost 11 o'clock last night when I was doing this, and so I needed to go to bed. So, a few updates. In this journal, I did end up putting the numbers for the 60 pages or 60 spread, no, pages, 60 pages in 2026. And I ended up making like 100 little squares in case I, color more than 60. I put all those numbers in. I ended up adding probably about 30 or 40 books into my book collection, like writing them down. So I think I'm about halfway now. I think I'm at 56 or something like that. And I started adding the pages that I've completed and what materials I've used. So I've put like Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and then the pages was unicorn. A thing that I did add, I added 2 more rows, one row, and that's what I'm going to be working on right now. After I kind of made myself an index for this. Let's rewind here a little bit. I made myself an index, and what I'm doing is I'm writing down all the different supplies that I have. So let's say like Prismacolors and Albert Durs and Chromaflows and Polychromos and all those, and I'm giving them little acronyms. And then when I fill in that sheet, all the pages that I've colored in 2026, I actually end up using the full 2-page spread. And you'll see I'm going to do book, name, the date I started, the date I finished, and the materials used. And then when I started filling it in today, I was like, hey, what if I put how many pages like in the spread? Because like the unicorn spread, for example, it's a 2-pager. It's a lot of work to get 2 pages done. So I added this little column that I can put whether it's a 2-page or a 1-page. And then at the very end, I added another column and I put whether I sprayed it or not. So once I spray the layouts, I can just do a little tick like, yes, I got it sprayed. Because I was like, how am I going to remember which layout that I sprayed? Because I don't do them right away. I wait till there's like 6 or 7, and then I go, especially, why did I say 6, 7? 6, 7. But I wait till I have a bunch, and then I go outside and I spray them. And believe me, nobody would want to go outside today and spray it. It was this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was minus 40 degrees Celsius with the wind. Yeah, it was cold. So it can wait a few days, until it warms up again. And then I'll do whatever pages I'm done. And I should finish a few extra pages. So then I'll have, more than just a couple pages to spray. But it's going to be the perfect way for me to keep track of which pages I sprayed and which I didn't. Another update, I was telling you guys that I needed to organize my room where I keep my soap stuff, and before Christmas, because I moved the desk in this room. I just kind of moved everything in there because we were trying to, set up the tree. And when I get something in my head, it's in my head and I got to do it right away. It's not something that I do 2 weeks from now. I wanted the desk in the room. It had to be right away. So, the books and everything. Anyway, I spent an hour yesterday and I spent an hour today. And I'm happy to tell you that my room is spotless. And my friends are coming tomorrow and we're going to make a bunch of soaps and shampoo bars and conditioner bars, all kinds of soaps. I make this soap. Everybody calls it the magic soap because it takes stains out of whatever. It takes stains out of clothes. It takes stains out of, like, I've cleaned off tables before, like outdoor tables that were really stained. Actually, a friend of ours found these aluminum chairs in the garbage can because they were mildewed. I sat there. That's when we were at the campground all the time. And I spent an afternoon. I was just using my soap and I got those chairs looking like they were brand spanking new. I got the mold and everything out of it. All the stains that were in it, I got it all out. It looked like new chairs. Anyway, I'm almost out of that soap, so I got to make some more of that soap because I use it on the baby's clothes, if she gets any kind of stains, or just on our clothes, if I spill spaghetti sauce on my shirt, it gets it out. My daughter once got a really expensive pair of sneakers, and on Marketplace, they were selling them like for $15 because they were so dirty. And she's like, I know I can get those clean with mom's soap. So she bought them for $15. They were like $200 sneakers. And she spent, a little bit of elbow grease and washed the sneakers, and they were like brand new. But I also make soap like for in the shower, like body soap. And also I use it, at my kitchen sink, in the bathroom sink. That's the soaps that we use. And I think it's been close to 10 years. Close to 10 years. I've not bought a soap bar or soap anything from the store in 10 years. I've been making my own for the last 10 years. And I don't think I could go back. But this is where I said that I put the numbers from 1 to 100. I got that all done. And I'm just going to use this stamp set that says Sweet Life. I'm going to tell you, I wish that I would have stamped it off. I was thinking, oh, I don't need to stamp it off because I'm not going to write over top of it. But you can kind of see it on the back side. I mean, I'm still going to write over top because the other side of this is where I'm going to keep track of all the layouts that I color in the year 2026. Oh, and those rolls of PET tapes, they came from the washi tape shop. When I was cleaning my room, I found one of their business cards and I was like, yes, that is what it is, the washi tapes shop. So they usually have really good deals, and I think a lot of times it's free shipping. I need to go back and try to find some new stickers. I have, I think, 4 rolls, and I just need to find some that, I don't know, maybe that I could use even more. But I mean, anything flower, right? It can be used for this kind of stuff, keeping track of your books. Wouldn't it be cool to have like stickers that would have like pencil crayons and coloring books and that kind of thing? That would be kind of cool. But there's enough other stuff in the world that we can still make our journal look pretty and keep track of all the stats that we want to keep track of. Now that I have this done, right? Because I've added the numbers, I'm just going to do the coloring books, adding them to the book collection a little bit every day. So basically, I have it completed. I just got to add a few little things and that'll be it. I'm kind of wondering if, like I said yesterday, if I want to do like in January, just use red, for example, and then February, use blue. And so I might need to go and erase a couple things with my, we call it an electric eraser, but it's battery operated. But with my eraser and just color over top with the red, it's going to look maybe a little different, but at least I can keep it going. So this is where I'm going to keep track of the books, and I'm going to do it across 2 pages because I figured 1 page, it was going to be too um, tight together, like too close. It was just going to, I was going to have to write super small, and my handwriting, I write pretty big. So I thought, you know what, just use 2 pages, and I skipped a whole bunch of pages. And then that way, I didn't have to do all the pages right away. They are done now. I got them done. But because I was filming, I just skipped ahead. I think I made room so that I could add, I don't know, maybe 80 pages. Man, if I color 80 pages this year, I'm going to be some impressed, right? But if something happens, I can always add extra pages using washi tape. I'll figure something out. I'll add pages, extra pages. So one of the last pages that I did this day was the upcoming books. I like to keep track of what's coming up. So I'm going to make the same kind of little grid that I did for the year in review. So I'm going to make 12 rectangles, and I'm going to put January to December, and then I'm going to put the books in pencil. When I write in there, I'm going to write it in pencil because, for example, Dream Voyage by Melpomene was supposed, here in Canada, was supposed to come out in January, and it got pushed to February. And again, my camera was full. I think I'm filming too much between the hockey games and, I film for my Patreon and for YouTube, my scrapbooking one, and for this. And my phone is full. I have a 512 gig phone, and it's always full. I call it the storage game. I got to keep moving stuff around to hard drives and everything. But anyway, I was doing that last page where I'm going to do my TBCs, my to be completed for January, February, and March. And I thought, you know what? We use distress inks on our coloring page, for backgrounds and stuff like that. How about if I take 3 colors? So I took the colors that I used in this journal. I took the purple, the blue, and the pink. And I just went to every page and I added a little bit of the purple, a little bit of the pink, and a little bit of the blue. And it just added that little extra something. And because I'm going on the paper first and then I go onto my book, it's not super dense or thick. I'll be able to write over top of that, no problem. So I'm so happy that this is done. So now I can kind of finish those pages that I'm so close to being done. I'm so close. But I wanted to make sure that I got this voiceover done and I get it up because I think it's exciting. It's fun. This is where I'm going to erase the blue. And I'm just going to color. In January, we'll say it's going to be red, and then maybe February, it's going to be blue. So at a glance, when I look at that graph, I'll know how many pages I got done in January, so on and so forth. So as you can see, off camera, I took the time and I got all those, almost all those pages done. I think I have a few left. I did a couple and then I'm like, you know what? It's probably good right now for the next, 3 or 4 months. So I need to put kind of the brakes on this and start coloring, because I'm not going to end up, being able to finish what I wanted to finish in January, because I'm spending so much time on this journal. Although I have to say, I really, really enjoyed doing this. It was so much fun. So this is how I just end this, is I just take the distress ink and I just go to each page and I make sure that each of the color is represented. But now we're going to go on or real time. We're going to go real time, and I'm going to show you everything that I wrote in the journal. Okay, so now it's time for a flip through. And I've started to fill it in, but it's not completely done, because putting all my coloring books in there is going to take some time. And I figured I'll do like 10 or 15 books a day or something. So yeah, here it starts all about coloring. I love the fact that I decided at the end to add some distress ink. It just adds a little something. So I started to write down my book collection. I have 23 in there right now. I'll probably add another 10 after I'm done filming this. So every day I'm going to put 10 or 15, and then just when they come in the mail, I'll add them in as I go. I hate the mess that I did there, but I'm going to write right over top. I should be able to see it anyway. And that was the whole purpose of stamping off, was so that I didn't, so that it wasn't, like strong. But I didn't want to put stickers on everything, because again, it makes it really thick. Like already I'm finding some thickness. So this is for this year, 2026. And then, once we're done, and, when I start 2027, I'll do a page for 2027, and so on and so forth. I probably have enough for 4 years in here. So that's good. That's good, good, good. Okay, so my goals are color 60 pages, complete 26 and 26. The 26 that I chose in there. Try new products. Color in 40 untouched books, at least. And then try new techniques. And I just couldn't think of anything else, but I'm sure there's more. So here for the 40 untouched books, I'm doing 2 things. I'm doing a box, because I like to color in the box. And I am also writing down the books that I colored in. And those, I already put them down because they're in my 26 and 26. So I definitely plan on coloring in those. So I already wrote them down. But if I pick a new one that I want to put in there, I'm going to put in there. And like here, I put Siren du Monde, but that's because I made it so I want to color in it in February. So I know I'm going to color in that one. So the year in review, what I'm going to do here, so at the end of the month, if I colored 8 pages, I'll just put 8. And maybe I'll put 8 completed. And if I have any whips, how many whips? And that's all that's going to be in there. And then here's my 26 spread in 2026. And I did change. Remember, I had chosen the big leaves and stuff. And I'm going to start that one. But I've decided I don't want to do that one. I want to do the leaves with the parrots. So I just changed it. And, we were still at the beginning of January. Now I won't change, I don't think, the list. But it was the beginning of January, and I changed it almost as soon as I did the video for that. So I'll probably try to color 1 leaf on that page this month, and maybe color 1 leaf every month, so that I get that 2-page spread completed by the end of the year. So materials used. So when I color the pages, I want to say, what I use. So when I do the videos, it's going to help me. So I kind of made myself a little index. So Prismacolors is PC, Albert Dürer is AD, ChromaFlow, so on and so forth. So when I do the materials here, I can just quickly do. And then if I look at something and I'm like, what's that? I can go here and look and say, oh yeah, that was, distress inks. So I left quite a bit of room for that. I don't think I'm going to color that many pages, but what I might do is skip a line because I have so much room, because there's 40 in here. So let's say if I lose the first two or the first one. So if I skip, so let's say I do 19, so that's 40, that's 60, that's 80. I don't think I'm going to do 80 pages. So I'm going to skip a line for each. And then this is upcoming. So for example, I'm going to write it in pencil because Dream Voyage was supposed to be January and it got switched to February. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in all the books like where they belong. And then if I haven't ordered them, it's a reminder to order them. And then when they come in, either I erase or I maybe do a check mark that I got it or whatever. Probably won't erase. I'll do something to say, yes, I got it. And then this is going to be my TBC, my to be colored. And so January, this is what it was. And then I'll do February. And then as, you know, as I finish a page, like I finish the mask page, I can color that in like that. It doesn't look like I got a lot done because I'm in the middle of 3 pages. So like I'm almost done the treehouse, but I'm not done. I'm almost done the leaves with parrots, but I'm not done. So I'm done the unicorn. So I'm done that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take the pencils and I'll just, you know, like use whatever color. I'm just gonna make it colorful. And I have one more that I got done, Lulu Mayo. So as soon as I finish those 2 other ones, I have 7 days. So I'm gonna try and finish one of them tonight. I've just been filming instead, so, but I wanted to get this done. I didn't want this to be ready in February or March. I wanted it done now, so I kind of put the coloring on the side, and this probably took me a good 3 or 4 hours. So those 2 here, I'm really close. And then I'll start another one probably tomorrow or something. I'll start maybe the Matchstick Mouse because that's going to be with alcohol markers and I can get that done pretty quick. And this journal here has some of this, so I can maybe put one in here because it's probably, I'm going to reference to here very often to see, okay, what did I say I wanted to color? And probably, see this, I want to stamp the numbers like I did for the 40. But that's going to take me a while, and I don't feel like doing that today. Like I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do till 100. The 100 one, I'll write in a pen just because, oh, maybe 100 I can, yeah, I can fit 100. But yeah, I'm going to do that and just do all of those. That'll probably take me 10 more minutes, but really, it is ready to go, except, you know, I have to put all my book collection. I'm going to do it a little bit every day and do those numbers. But I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So this one here, I think I'll put maybe right here. Okay, so that's it. This is my journal for 2026. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.